Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back together again, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a comparison video. So, this is where I basically talk about Henry Danger and stuff like that. I don't really have any other ideas of what Henry Danger videos I could do. I probably will come up with more in the future, but for today, we're going to be talking about... it's not really a comparing of who's better, but it's more of one of why I think Henry Danger is a far better show than its sequel show of Danger Force. Now, to be clear, up to this point, I have not finished Danger Force because I know that it finished with its third season, and there's plenty of episodes I need to watch, which I will get to in a few months or so. But with that said, let's go ahead and start talking about why I think Henry Danger is much better than Danger Force. Now, I think that the characters in this show are, of course, great. Of course, when you get into Henry Danger, there's really three groups of characters that you can really comment on. You have Henry's people at Junkin stuff, you have Henry's family, and then the people at his school. When it comes to people at Junkin stuff, it kind of evolves over time because you have Ray and him and Gooch, and then Schwoz comes in, then Charlotte, then later Jasper does, and then a bunch of random other people that Ray works with, as well as Piper joins in at one point, and then even with the people that go to the school with him, like Sydney and Oliver, Misshapen, the teachers there, like, they're just all fun characters. Even the girlfriends that Henry had, I thought was cool and great. And then when it gets to his family, you get the mom, the dad, and Piper, which I thought was all good. And when you get Danger, and all these characters are great. When you get Danger Force, the main crew of kids that we're hanging out with, they're fun. Mika, Miles, Choppa, Bose, they're all fun characters, and they all have a fun dynamic, and I think throughout the show, they kind of get a bit better. At the same time, though, the relationship with their families and everything, I can't really buy into it. I couldn't really enjoy it as much, mainly because we haven't really spent enough time with these characters. And I think one thing that I kind of saw on TikTok the other day, I think I saw something of behind the scenes for the Henry Danger film that's coming out, kind of like how the Thundermans movie is coming into place, which I'm interested to see how that's going to be a thing since Henry is not Kid Danger anymore. So maybe that's going to be like the movie bringing the Henry Danger main universe as well as Danger Force all together to stop a one big threat. So I'm interested to see where that's going to go. But overall, the characters for Henry Danger were just much better because they're more memorable. You got to spend a lot more time with them, and we only got to spend only 3 seasons with Danger Force, so that's kind of disappointing. Another great thing about these shows, the main thing about these shows is comedy. When we get into Henry Danger, man, it is just a hilarious piece of work. I mean, obviously, it's coming from Dan Schneider. There's a lot of adult jokes in here, but there's a lot of funny stuff in here. There's a lot of funny stuff that these characters do. When you get into Danger Force, there's there's some good jokes here and there, but it kind of feels like that's all the series became, and that because you couldn't really care about these characters as much. It's like they try to seriousify the jokes, and the jokes were about very stupid things. And that's just I think the worst thing about Danger Force is that it just became a full-on comedy, and they just kept going on with the jokes, and it was just not really funny anymore. Granted, it had its funny moments at times, but it didn't always work. So that's my thoughts. So for me, Henry Danger also is just very, very fun.
Real good.
final thing we'll talk about is villains. When we get into Henry Danger, there are just so many iconic villains, from the Toddler to Dr. Minyak to Drex to the Time Jerker to Drillfinger to... I'm trying to think of some other villains he's fought. To the Wall Dogs, to all these fantastic villains, and all of them were actually, at least in the earlier seasons, were actually executed very well. And when you get Danger Force, there's not really a lot of compatible villains, mainly because most of the villains are kind of these bad guys that are doing stupid things. And when you look at Henry Danger, these villains actually kind of pose a pretty serious threat. Like, Drex actually had a master plan to want to wipe out the whole memory of Captain Man across the entire world. Or even the Toddler. He wanted to make babies evil. Or Dr. Minyak, he wanted to take away Captain Man's superpower. Or the Time Jerker. He put Kid Danger back in time to yesterday where everything failed. These villains posed an imminent threat to Swellview. And you see some of these villains return in Danger Force, and they feel like they're nothing. I did like the way they do. They did. I saw what they did with Drex. I saw a clip of it. Not sure how that's gonna go out, but I just think that the way they turned all these villains from Henry Danger just turned them into complete jokes, and it wasn't really good. So once again, this show does better with characters. Henry Danger does better with characters, humor, villains, everything about it. Even the action, I would say, is equally both good. But you don't really go there for the action, though sometimes it can be exciting. That's my thoughts on why I think Henry Danger is a much better show than Danger Force. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.